I'm speaking on behalf of the group Climate Genocide Act Now. It is known as CGAN and has done something incredibly important. In November 2019, CGAN submitted a detailed dossier of evidence to the Met Police, calling for a criminal investigation into the actions of named senior UK government ministers who had initiated policies that contributed to mass death and suffering by driving climate breakdown. We now have proof that climate change is killing over 400,000 people a year, is forcing millions of people into hunger and starvation, and is causing sea level rise that will soon completely annihilate several low-lying island states. Mass killing of civilians is a crime under the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court, and that legislation was brought into the UK jurisdiction by the International Criminal Court Act 2001. For the lawyers here, the legislation tackles crimes of direct intent and oblique intent. It also criminalises actions that contribute to mass suffering and death. In December 2021, another group called the UK Youth Climate Coalition found the same legislation and submitted a case against BP direct to the International Criminal Court. Both groups acted independently and were unaware of each other, but they have proven legislation exists that makes it a criminal offence to kill, cause mass suffering and annihilate island states. The CGAN story is long and complex, but in 2023, CGAN engaged in detailed correspondence with the Met Police Department. That correspondence is on our website and proves the Met Police know they are acting unlawfully by refusing to use the ICCA 2001 to stop politicians that kill. So we have a corrupt justice system that protects those who kill and prosecutes those who try to stop the killers. CGAN has informed the Crown Prosecution Service, board members and all the judges by email and post, and they all know that they continue to prosecute climate defenders who try to stop the politicians who kill. The fact is that you cannot have a fair trial for climate actions. So if you are prosecuted for taking dynamic climate action, please do get in touch with CGAN. And if your case is heard by a jury, make sure they know, the police, CPS and judge know that the police are protecting the killers and prosecuting those trying to stop the killers. The evidence suggests that jurors who hear this don't like it. Jurors are more likely to acquit if they see that defendants would never have taken the action they did if the police had upheld the law and acted to stop politicians who kill. Many of us here today who have taken direct action will have been made to feel like we are the criminals by the media, by our arresting officers, by the judges, and sadly, even sometimes by those we love most. But we know who the real criminals are. Whether they actively induce environmental harm or just ignore the existential threat against the survival of the human species, those individuals should know that they will be held accountable for their actions or inactions. So I'm just going to quote someone who said something this week which really struck me, and I feel like it should be said here, and it's about integrity, because that's what the whole CGAN case is about. Integrity at the present time is resistance. Nothing more, nothing less. It's the opposite logic to expediency. Expediency is trying to have your cake and eat it, to maintain your privilege and status while appearing to do good. Expediency is to write an article about the trial, but not glue your hands to your editor's desk. Expediency is to call for justice, but to not challenge the judge, because it will do in your career. Expediency is to lead a march, but to not have anyone sit down and be arrested. Expediency is doing everything that looks good but does no good. Expediency is betrayal. Betrayal of your family, your country, this world, but also of yourself. That temporary spark of consciousness in the void of eternity. Consciousness is truth, beauty, love. When you're on your deathbed, you will not be thinking about your career, the stuff you had. You'll be thinking about whether you became what you know yourself to be, a soul. So before I come off and let someone else speak, I just want to mention that I recently spent a few days in the mountains in the Alps, and I met a French activist there. When we went to leave each other, he hugged me goodbye, and he tapped me here in the heart space. He looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Thank you, Rachel, for what's inside." So I'm here today to say thank you to all those in resistance, all those in prison, all of those here today for your beautiful souls. Thank you for your integrity, and thank you for what's inside.